Hi, today the video is about SideMenu7, your free POS for the community MS Access Master Group. I'm Mr. Sissoko. I'm going to introduce the few functionality we have created for our database. So the purchase order, the report and switch product, account, index menu, and order function, cell menu configuration. So let's start about the first one, receiving the item. So I'm going to type the password and get in. If I don't log, I try to open any form here around, it will cause a problem. So receiving the item is here. I will try to make a reception from a supplier. So I will find the supplier name here. Okay, like King Kong. Then I click on the plus button here to create a new invoice. I usually want to create a new header. Say yes. So I have the header 237. The invoice number is here. The payment is 0. So I'm going to select a menu. It's 15 pieces and save. Save it in my invoice. Okay, this is the invoice, the purchase order. So if I want to make a payment, as the instruction here, we created a new number. We find the product to insert in the purchase order. We make a payment. If I want to make payment for this 57,000, I just come to the right side or click on payment to display this menu. So we said I pay about 20,000. Then I can type anything here as not, and then save. I see the payment here, 20,000 payment here. So I can also delete the payment. I click on the payment and click delete to delete the payment. I see the balance here, amount paid 20,000, balance to pay 37,000. So if I want to print out in two pieces, like I want to print the same A4 paper to print twice the invoice, like this one. We see the first invoice here we can care of, and then the second invoice here in the same page. So how we build this is simple. Yeah, you see here receipt, this one, receipt print, receipt L. Sorry, this is a purchase order. We are on the purchase order. So if you go to the design view, we see is only one purchase order, but we put it in the to bill like in this one. So we go to design view, we see that I put one here. Okay, this is the first one, this is the second one. You can see this is a sub report, another one, another sub report. I just put a line between them. So you need to check this one, report header. If this is not a report header, you put it in the page header, it will not display, it will cause problem. You need to put it in the report header. This is the first subform, the second subform. Between them I put just a line. Okay, so is this become subform, this report become sub report. Okay, the purchase order R. So if we go to design view of this one, we see the same report here, the same report. Okay, so very simple how to make it. So we print two invoice inside one sheet. Okay, so we can also print out a single print like this, a single page. Okay, so or we can export to any format we want by clicking this export file. And then here the last one, is about the code, the print barcode. So like this one, I want to print a barcode with the barcode printer. So I want 15 sticker for this product to stick on the product. So I click here. I can see the same product has been created 15 times. So you can print out with A4 size, then stick it on your product. So you can check the code behind. It is not complicated. It's very, very simple code. Okay, if you don't understand something, you can try to send message on the group. So we will explain for everybody. Okay, so that's for the receiving stock order. So the second one is a report and the shift product. Okay, so this product I receive it, I sold some product, so I want to report. I come to report and click search report. Okay, so sorry, so I can come here. I said okay, show me all the sales from this date. Example, I will choose a date. I double click to enter the first date, the today date, and double click here for the first of this month, or I can select other date and then I said purchase. So I can see all the purchase uh, in uh, in this period. So the red one here is cancelled. If you cancel a record, so it will show in the red side. Okay, you can cancel, you can find anything from anything here, you can type anything, you can check the code behind this. We make a concatenated field which contain the name, description, the supplier name, kind of sub query in the query. So we apply the search on that field which contain all the information, this information here. Okay, so you can type anything, purchase, sales. So you can filter anything you want from this list. You can also delete. If you delete, it become red. Then the total amount will be 0. The quantity will be the same quantity, but the confirmation field, the field called conf, will be 02. Sorry, confirmation. Okay, so let's go to the confirmation field. Confirmation, you see all is 111. That means it's confirmed. Okay, if you delete it, sorry, my access database has been closed. So I go to log on, type admin 1234. Okay, so we came back to the report. We was talking about the report. I put this one, and filter the purchase for today only. Okay, we can delete. Say here we can delete, or we in the receiving we can also delete here. Every line has this red button here. We can delete. Okay, so let's go to the report. So you can also click on this one to get a larger windows like this. Okay, so you can get a larger windows. You can close, not close from here. Last time I closed from here, close from this one. So if we make a larger screen, few things change. This technique is a little bit tricky, so you have to check the code behind, or how we close the button, how we hide the button to large to make it larger, or make it okay, close it back without closing the one here. So we can check the code behind to see. Okay, so now since we have done with the search button, search item, we go to the account. The account make us a little bit tired because Uh, so you need to create account for the customer. You need to create account for the customers. So the integration between the account and the sales and the receiving or purchase order, whatever, is not yet linked. So this is a separate account. You can choose the name you created, any contact here. If I type A, by example, so I can see all the customers or suppliers, customers, can see all of them. So I can select here. So if I want to make a deposit to his account, I say 30,000, not, and then I click a transaction. I see his last balance is transaction. If I say okay, again, you debit something from his account, we say not again, okay, by example, it's saved. So we see that he has the balance is 9,000. The last transaction will be always on the top. We order by descending order. Okay, the last transaction is always on the top. So by example, I want to cancel this 21,000. So I cannot delete this 21,000 here. I cannot delete. Just make another reverse transaction. Say 21,000. Okay, say reverse. Okay, and then confirm. So we see that his balance came back to 30,000. So it's like that. You can how to call uh, manage the account. So if you make the account, the line can be deleted. That is very trouble for you. Okay, you should not make an account system with that. So anything you need to uh, avoid deleting the line for the transaction linked to the account. It must be reversed. Okay, that is more reliable within you and your customers. So print report, I can print. I see the account report. Okay, I can send by email, PDF, email. I can send it to the customer. Okay, here is the switch. You can click on the switch. You can type anything like we said. You check the code behind this one is a little bit tricky, so you can type anything to find here, anything. Okay, just type something, it will find in this field, any text field, and any customer name, contact name, it goes and find it. So it will find everywhere you type it. So if you type admin also, it can find, so anything. Okay, you can search here. So here I want to example the account of Mr. C. Okay, I click, then account report. You can see also transaction. Okay, you see as here there is no delete button here. You have to make a reverse transaction. So all the transaction is depending on the period. So while we are typing the transaction, we see the period here also, November. By default, it will take the current month and current year. So anything you do in the transaction within this month will be kept in this period. So if you print out, just need to select the period and refresh. You see the data. Then you select the customer name and print. So any account system need to be linked to the period. Okay, that is very important, very important. Okay, so it's work like that. You need to put period on each transaction. Okay, if you check the table containing the data, you will see that, say by default, if you make payment in the purchase order which is not linked to the account, you see that everything is 00 here because it is not linked to the account. Anything linked to the account has this type 1 or 2. If it is type 0, that means it is not linked to the account system. So it will not be counted in the account system. It is for another side of the system. So this kind of type, transaction type, is sometimes helpful. Okay, you can in the same table you can manage several order business in it. So That's all for the payment, the account system, and okay, and the report. So this is the last 30 transaction. The system will filter only 30 transaction. You can change the code behind on this button, this combo box after update. The code is there. You can go and check the code. Index, menu, and function. So in the index here, the welcome, you see that there is a new menu here. This function pcount and psum open. See, there is nothing, there is no code behind. That is important. So you need to, okay, make the code on open. Okay, and open. We say the psum SQL, psum multiple. This psum multiple is very, very important. You can call the function psum one time inside a collection, so it will return several results like item 1, item 2, item 3, item, okay. So you see that I separated this different SQL. I say inside this database you need to say if it is SQL database or access database on a network. So you can change this database information from the global con. See the global con here. See current DB is 2. The value is 2. So you can change current DB. If it's a SQL Server database, this is my SQL con. My SQL con is here. MySQL con is here. You can go and change the database with your server address, database name, and so on, password. Okay, so the function will keep it there. So if we said you want to count the psum, so you say current database, the system will show the list of the database connection you have in your global con. So this is the first SQL. Okay, we give the first SQL, and then after that I will tell the system which field, okay, which field to count, to summarize this one. So because I created the field here in the SQL, I said this one as this because you just want to count. Okay, if you want to count a number, this psum can do that. Just say one as quantity. You count the number of row if you want. If you want to summarize like this one here, total, sum of total, as you see. So it's very complicated. If you want to do this with a simple function by Microsoft or by SQL or by I don't know how you want to make, but this function is extremely helpful. So here also I said as where podcast, I see here, okay, podcast sum total as podcast, then I give the criteria is here, option in output is 1, that's mean it is a purchase order. If it is sales, so it will also go and find the sales. Okay, so this is to count the number of invoice. Also you see we put one as a CNT invoice. Okay, here is CNT invoice. So this function is very helpful. Okay, I will type something here for that. So just say this field is collection 1, another field collection 2. So it's not complicated. Just watch the video second, third times, any number of time you want. Just watch the video. You'll understand one by one. You have the code. We try to put some example. You see, we have several SQL inside the same function. This is the end of this first SQL. The second SQL is here. The third SQL is here. You can type any number of group of SQL inside this function. It will put the result in the collection here. So that is very important. So we put the code here also. Okay, the four fields. That's why we have collection 1, 2, 3. This one is hidden. It didn't show anything, so we don't know what to show. So the function here will go and count something for you to display whatever you like, whatever SQL is inside that psum. There is also a function which is not only the psum. We show you the group of function we added. We added almost 10 functions. We go to the global mode, and then we see that we have psum, simple psum. Okay, that is only one SQL. This is psum, several SQL inside one. Okay, so there is also pcount, and then pcount, several SQL to count several tables, several raw, and return a collection for you. So that is the point. Okay, so we have also, I think the pdel is here also. You can go and check those functions, how they work. Okay, we have an example of each function inside the database. Okay, so that is the function behind the menu. Okay, here we say sales menu configuration. If you want to get configuration of the cells, you go here, you see this menu here. You want to configure the menu to add more menu. You click here. If you click, like example, this one, so you see the item inside it. So if you want to switch another item to add it, you type A. You see all the item. We simply double click and then to add the item inside here. If the item is added, we select the line of the new item added inside this menu. So if you don't want to see the menu in the cells, just click on this one. You will not see the menu in the cells. But this functionality is not yet working. We just put this one first, and then later, the next update, we will put a code there to hide any menu having this option disabled. So easy. You can create new menu here. Can create new menu. You can add picture to the menu. Type the menu name. Reference is this reference 010203. You need to follow the order. That's important also. So you type the menu reference here. This is the reference. You type the menu name here. Type the menu name. You add the pictures and click save. Okay. So we added several that kind of menu. Okay, by default. Okay. So this the code also behind is simple. You can check it and see how you can use and get idea how to start to explore more and more about this database. So I think we have run out all the functionalities. Okay, so we are working on the next update. Here also I think we make some change here. Okay, there are some change, and then here behind also there is a function here. You can check what kind of function to show all the sales value. Okay, if you want to close the current session 9 to close it. If you want to go home, you just need to put the cash fund here and close the session. Here you can find also the session number. The older session closed, it depends on your level. You can check this button. The code on not in list, it according to your level. If you have level 3, you can see your own. If you have admin level, you can see all the session. So there are few change inside this form also. So thank you for watching the video and have a nice time.